Hello, it's Val here from Mandala Arts. My thing's wobbling. Right. So, I just thought some of you might find it interesting to see the process of some of the things that I make. Some of you know that I've been making things from CDs. So my latest thing, and it was a suggestion by a friend, thank you very much, that I have a go at making some Christmas decorations. Now, people who know me will be laughing hollowly because they know I'm a bit of a Grinch about Christmas. But, you know, people are starting to produce things for Christmas, so I thought I'd better get on the bandwagon. So anyway, I'll explain a little bit about what I've been doing, and I'm just about to finish it off. Or finish them off by putting paint dots on them, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to alter the camera slightly so that you can see my hands but not my face, and I can show you a little bit of the process of what I've been doing and where I've got to, and I'm sort of at the final stage, or almost the final stage of making these. So, you know, the jury's out on them at the moment. I think they've been a success, but you can let me know if you want. Anyway, so I'm going to flip the camera over slightly so you can see what I'm up to. So, here we go. Alright. Oops. If it'll stay that way. It doesn't seem to want to do it very much. Okay, right. I don't know whether you can see that. It might be at a funny angle, but let's give it a go. So, you can see these are my experiments. So, they are all made from CDs. So what I did was, for example, I took 2 CDs and I drew on them with hot glue. So you can see I used glitter glue, and you might be able to see I've drawn a design. So to start with, I had the CDs separate, 2 separate ones, drew round the centre and then drew the design, and then made 2 similar. I'm afraid I'm not very good at making things identical, so there are some variations, but you get the gist of it anyway. But I had a plan to put patterns and jewels and stuff on them, so they had to be spacious enough to accommodate that. Then I stuck stone in the middle and glued them together, and then added rhinestones. But the only thing I've found is that unfortunately the hot glue doesn't come off the CDs that easily. When I'm painting them, it doesn't matter because it gets covered up. You might be able to see just little kind of blemishes here and there. I tried to get them off unsuccessfully, so I have decided that I am going to try painting now. But because I love that mirror effect so much, I'm going to do it more like snowflakes or little dots of snow in different colours maybe. We'll see how that works out. So you can see I've done a number of them. Part of that one's blue glitter glue, you can see maybe. That one, it was a mixture of gold and blue. Again, you know, some have been more successful than others. That one's a bit of gold and silver. So you can get glitter glue for your glue gun. This is hot glue that we're talking about. And what I'm going to do, other one there, final one is this one. This is probably the one that looks most like a snowflake. That was the idea really, was that they kind of looked like snowflakes really, or something along those lines. Once I've painted them, which I'm going to have a go at now, is I'm going to make a hole in each one, and you can do that by, and it's not something children should do, it's something that you need to do, you can do if you're an adult. You basically heat up a metal knitting needle over a flame, like a gas flame or a cigarette lighter, and when it gets good and hot, you just stick it straight through both your CDs. You'll find if it's hot enough, it goes through like butter. But obviously make sure that you put it through in a place where there's nothing, an obstruction on the other side. And you have to be pretty kind of precise and quick with it. But it's really easy when it's very hot. And then, of course, when it cools down, you can thread string or something to hang it from. Okay, so the next stage that I'm going to do now is I have got some paint here. I've got white, silver and gold. I don't know if you can see that, just this is my paint plate. And I'm going to experiment a little bit on some paper, just to see what kind of effect I get before I commit myself to putting them on the CD. So I'm going to try cotton buds, and I've got some brushes as well. I've got a little stippling brush here, which I'm hoping might do the trick, but some ordinary brushes too, a stick and some cotton buds. So I'm going to have a go, I think probably with the gold. Let's have a go. Let's see what that looks like. So quite liking that effect actually. I've used cotton buds before, and they're quite a good way of getting a dot effect, so yeah, that's not bad actually. Alright, okay, now I'm going to try the stippling brush. We're going to go with that as well. So, well, that gives a nice even round. Well, I spoke too soon I think actually. But it's quite a big dot, and I'm not sure that's probably too big actually for what I want. Okay, time for the stick. Let's see if the stick works. Oh, wrong end. Oops. Let's try the stick. Well, surprisingly enough, that probably gives one of the best effects actually. Okay, and finally I'm going to try a brush. I've got some water here. So we're going to go. Actually, that's not too bad either. So let's. So you can see I've got cotton bud, stippling brush, stick, and just an ordinary brush. I think I'm liking those two best, so I'm going to go for those two, I think. So, okay, so as we've got gold lined up, I think we are going to go for this one. And I'm going to do the dots on one side. So I'm going to put that over there. And I'm going to do it randomly though, because as I said, there's various blemishes. So I'm going to have a go. Let's see how we get on. Now, where's my bit of paper actually? I think I might need that to... Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have a go. I need a bit more paint on these, I think. So I'm just doing it around the edges, sort of randomly, in the gaps. I'm just going to go over the ones that haven't worked so well, so we get a nice even effect. I think that's working. Right, okay, so kind of quite like that actually. I think I'm quite liking that. Right, so I'm going to let that dry and then I'll do the other side in a little while when that's dry, but I'm now going to move on and I'm going to have a go at doing blue, I think. I've got one of my CDs here has got blue and gold on it, so I'm just thinking I might mix up a little bit of a pale blue to try on that. So I'm going to use my brush for that. So actually I think I'm going to mix the white with the blue. Let's see what kind of effect. That's quite nice. I don't want it too dark because I still want it to look kind of icy, but on the other hand I don't want it too pale either. So we'll get a bit of a thing going on there with a pale blue. Yeah, I think that kind of colour's sort of okay. Maybe a bit more blue, a bit darker blue actually. Right, so I think I'm going to try a cotton bud with this one. Whoops, there we go. So let's have a little, so if we do that, yeah, okay. I think you're going to have to press a bit harder with this one. Oh yeah, getting a nice round effect if you give it quite a push down. I'm kind of following the design a little bit with this one. There are certain spaces that seem to lend themselves to having dots in them. I mean, obviously snowflakes are normally pretty regular, they're symmetrical usually, so kind of working with that idea. And now I'm just going random. Okay, I'll just touch up one or two that need a little bit of extra. But quite carefully, giving them a little bit of extra so they don't look too ragged. Okay, I think I've done that one too. So, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? I'm quite liking that effect. So I just thought I would show you that. I'm not going to make you sit through them all because it's a bit of a process, but yeah, I mean, you know, you can do this if you want. I don't know whether you could draw the designs on first, but if you're using hot glue, obviously if you used, say, a black pen and drew your designs on, it would show through. But if you've got some palish coloured Sharpies of the same colour that you're going to use, the same colour of your glue that you're going to put on, then I think that could work, because I know not everyone feels confident about doing it freehand. So if you had, as I say, a palish coloured Sharpie, which is a permanent marker and you can mark on CDs, then you can draw out your design in advance and then follow it with the glue gun. But it is a little bit of something you need to practice. I think I would suggest if you've got loads of CDs, you do a few sample ones and then go for it. I don't know what I mentioned before, but I stuck them together with glue dots, and okay, you wouldn't normally think glue dots would work, but with this they work brilliantly. I've got about 4 or 5 inside, and then that's what glued the two sides together. You have to be pretty confident to get your edges straight, lined up, because once they're glued together it's really difficult to get them apart, which is what we want, of course. But anyway, so that's me finishing off some of my Christmas decorations, and if I think they're good enough, they might be for sale. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. Until the next time.